What's up, brothers and sisters? It's your brother G World 7_D hitting at you this morning. I want to show you something from a Time Life books. Incas, Land of Glory, of Gold and Glory. Time Life books. It's like they lost history books. Incas, Lords of Gold and Glory. Alright, now, as I always say, our history in America did not start with no damn slavery. I'm not no DOS or no ADOS. That's some foolishness, man. You're not descendants of slaves. Once you know your true history, you wouldn't even say stupid stuff like that. In fact, that's just totally ignorant. You're descendants of the brothers and sisters who many of them were enslaved. And some of our people were not enslaved, but many of our people were. But to sit there and just say you are descendant of slaves and making it as if your history started 300, 400 years here in America ago is asinine, ignorant, and just foolish. But you get so many people, unfortunately, many of your Negro scholars who continue to teach that. Many of them do not know our true history in America. But they keep going to Africa, which that is a part. But our great history, so much of our history has been here in America, ancient history. And I'm gonna show you a little of that, but I'm gonna talk about some of the things I talked about before. All right, that's in this book. I'm gonna go to page 85. I'm gonna read it, and this time I'm gonna show you it. All right, this is not gonna be a real long video. All right, and this is dealing with the Incas. I want you to understand what I'm about to read. Okay, it's dealing with the Incas. I hope I can get a clear picture of this. All right, camera to brightness. All right, and it's dealing with the Incas. All right, borrowers of greatness. This is saying that the Incas borrow from older black civilizations that were here. Mighty empire builders through they may have been. The Inca were not quite all that they seemed the conquering Spaniards. All right. They were not quite all that they seemed to the conquering Spaniards, who confessed such amazement over their achievements. What the Spaniards did not know is that the Dinka, had been quick to appropriate the technology of others. Virtually all marvels of their civilizations, from the great stone structures at Cusco to the agricultural terraces of the mountain slopes, to the 15,000 miles of paved highways that knitted the empire together, to the 15,000 miles paved highways that knitted the empire together, to the 15,000 miles of paved highways that knitted the empire together, took their inspiration from earlier ethnic groups. Even the magnificent gold artifacts that so enchanted the Spaniards were largely the work of other hands. Not that the Incas gave much credit, as their court historians told it. Little of consequence had occurred in the Andes before the Incas' rise to power. Whatever culture the region enjoyed, they implied had originated with the Incas. The truth is that civilized life in the Andes went back at least 3,000 years. Older than that, actually. Archaeologists have found temples in the highlands and great cities in the coastal deserts that were as remote in time from the age of Inca greatness as it is the Athens of Pericles from the Athens of modern Greece. But if the Dinkas were inheritors, they were able to mark the accomplishments of those who preceded them with the stamp of their own genius. From the beginning, life in the areas that will become the Inca Empire posed unique challenges to the Indians who inhabited them. In valleys leading to the coastal desert, for example, the climate was so dry that no more than an inch or two of rain fell in any single year, while some groups made their living along the coast as fishermen. The area dried up, harvesting the rich protein bounty churned up by the colder. I can't see colder. Excuse me. In the valleys leading to the coastal desert, for example, the climate was so dry that no more than an inch or two of rain fell in any single year. While some groups made their living along the coast as fishermen, harvesting the rich protein bounty churned up by the colder temperatures of the current sweeping north from Antarctica. Others in the valley tended garden plots of squash and beans and eventually corn, on small green patches made possible by water from rivers gushing from the heights. I had to relate to it. Settlement spread as people began moving inland. There is to meet other challenges posed by the extremities of of weather and altitude. Towns grew up around ceremonial centers, then turned into cities filled with all the creative bustle of civilized Stone Age life. And then it goes, as long as 2500 BC and perhaps before, early Peruvians working on adobe brick built temple pyramids in various coastal areas of Peru that rival Egypt's in their monumental scale. A spectacular example of these, carbon dated to 1800 to 1500 BC, stands 10 stories tall at a site called Pampa de las Lamas, Moexi. Okay, Moexi. All right. What I just read, and I mentioned this so many times, is how you had many civilizations that came after other civilizations and extended on what that was already there, and they took upon a lot of structure there and they added their own there, as well as that they built on top of older civilization that predated it. And like I said, these were all Negro people. Like I said, I told you before, you had your so-called Egyptian empire, you had the people of Tai Mare. T means place of, or land. T is place of, area, the place. It's the land. All right. The Egyptian empire were able to carve into massive rock here in the Americas. And all these other groups just built on top of that. All right. They built on top of the older black civilizations that were already here. People were coming back and forth because they knew about the Americas. All right. They knew about the riches, the gold paved streets, the long highways. People knew about this, so people were coming back and forth. They were traveling using by boat. I told you the other day how dealing with the Waray and those various groups of black civilization that was over here in America, or the Moshi. They were seafaring people because they were traveling back and forth to different lands and within the Americas. All right, go over and turn to this page here. All right, it's called Hitching Post on the Sun. Now, this talks about, and I just said carved into rock. All right, I'm going to read this. Winding away from the sacred plaza and up a terrace granite outcrop, a long stairway charts a dramatic climb to a carved polygonal stone at the summit. The Inti I know how to pronounce it. I end up forgetting how to pronounce it. The Inti who Hutiana, or the hitching post of the sun in its colorful translations. Inti means sun. Hueta, to tie. I'm pronouncing it wrong. I know how to pronounce it too. Here, Bingham hypothesized the Incas may have symbolically tethered the sun to prevent it from straying away at the winter solstice. All right. The priest, he wrote, able on the 21st or 22nd of June to stop its flight and tie it to a stone pillar in one of their temples, were regarded with veneration. The elegant stone sculpted from the mountain itself may have served as a solar observatory, allowing priests to determine the best times of sowing and harvesting crops by noting the disappearance of its shadow at the spring and fall equinox. On occasion, the priests will have decked the stone with great quantities of flowers and herb. In particular, during the Inti Raymi, the magnificent sun festival held in June and December, the residents of Machu Picchu probably gather at the Inti Hutana for days of harmonious chanting, effigy rituals, and prayers. All right, and here's what they carved. They used sort of like a sun clock, you could say. All right, look at this. Look what they carved into. Remember I told you they carved into stone. They carved into this great hard rock granite. So they didn't use simple copper tools. That's BS. All right. So they didn't use simple copper tools, like I said. And I'm bringing that because they carved. You see how they carved in that, and I showed you different figures how they carved into Earth, natural geological Earth structure. They had the tools and the men power and the knowledge and architectural knowledge and skill to carve into sacred rock here in the Americas. And they built these great, monumental, elaborate structures here in the Americas that look so much better than what you see over in so-called Africa. All right. The brothers and sisters had a rich civilization over here that is being totally ignored. All right. And the people who built this were not mestizos, because there's no knowledge of them doing this, or Mongoloid, so-called Mongoloid people. And the original so-called Mongoloid people were a darker hue, but the pale-skinned Mongoloid people had nothing to do with this. All right, I want to go to page 59. I'm going to close out right here. Okay. I only can show you part of this picture. I can't show you the whole picture. There's a reason why I can't show you the whole picture. I'm going to cover a part of it. I want you to notice this brother right here. Notice he had a kufi on his head and those two large earrings. You see them brothers wearing kufis. You see brothers here in America. You see a lot of Muslim brothers wearing. You see them dudes in West Africa wearing these little kufis. You see this? See them little kufis. Now, I can't show you the bottom because his phallus is sticking out, man. His penis is sticking out, man. So I can't show you that. All right, his children may be watching this, so I'm not going to show that. I'm covering that up. All right. So you just going to have to get this. This is a nobleman. Incas. Knows he had a kufi in his head and them big ass earrings. And like I said, our people come in various different features. We come either narrow noses, wide noses, or rounded noses. But I have to, like I said, I got to cover that part up. I can't show you that part. The showing his phallus, man. I can show. Let me didn't show the bottom. All right. I can't show that, man. All right. But I just want to show you some images, and I'm gonna show you this brother again. Notice how his hands is to his chest. If you can see if they're glaring light. Get out that glaring light. Here it is. His hands to his chest, the kufi in his head, and the long earrings on the side. You see that image of me and them dudes, what you call the Dinka and the Inca, man. This brother could have been some kind of spiritual priest or just some other form of high leader. But like I mentioned before, the paved highways, the streets, the various different observatories here, the various different monumental structures over here in America, our ancestors built that. All right. I want to emphasize this, is that how much we need to really take back our full history. We don't know our true history because we have allowed other people to steal it. All right. So this is just something I want brothers and sisters to know and to learn their full history. And we take everything. We take everything because this is our history. And it keeps showing, a fake Mongoloid people as original people of this land. And here's a little Negro figure, but etched in gold. I think I showed it the other day, but it wasn't as clear of a picture. This guy has your true so-called Negroid features. But look at this, etched in gold. And generally this would be feathers, but you see they did this in gold. That's magnificent. And this was our ancestors. This is the land of gold, glory. This is our ancestors' home. I want to just throw that quick video. And I want brothers and sisters to continue putting the research and stop saying that you're just a slave from Africa. All right, stop saying that you're a slave from Africa. Right? Because we've been here. We carved into rock, various different stone, and that was not done. This could not have been done using simple copper tool. This was not done using simple copper tool. And look at the preciseness of this, man. Look at the preciseness of this. Look how straight line this is. So it took great measurement and great skill. Look at this. This was not done with no simple ass copper tools, man. Look at this. Look how this cut and carved into. The measurements and the skill to be precise and the smooth ridges, man. Look at this. This is awesome. What they did. And you can tell this was like in some ancient astronomical clock light that measures the movements of the sun. The solar time, what the sun was doing at a certain time of day. This is awesome, man. This is awesome. What our brothers and sisters did. And get another image of it. Look at this. Damn, that's awesome. Look at this. So this is not an inferior group of people who did this. This was a high technology people who knew mathematics to the fullest, who understood mathematics, who also charted the skies and the earth. This is what our ancestors did. And they able to, and you don't know how hard gold is to carve into gold and carve and to make those different features be very precise. They didn't use no simple copper tools, man. They didn't use no simple copper tools. So I'm giving this information again. Information I have learned over the years. As a way to have you to realize, to understand that your history did not start over here as no slave. You were already over here. You're already over here. And your ancestors' names are throughout North and South America. All right, a lot of these names that they give to the Spanish were actually either some Negro Moor or some Aboriginal black priest or king or chief, whatever. That's all it is, man. These people have stolen everything from us, man, and they've lied. And they taught us in a racist, gave us a very racist structure, education structure in this country. And expect us to just to survive, not only survive, let me not say survive, but to basically be successful in this type of education system is really, man, you're set up to fail. And this tells you how our greatness is, how so many of us have succeeded on an educational system that just basically told us that we're nothing, that we equate to nothing, that we are nothing, when actually we come from greatness. But many of us do not see that and do not want to see that because we be ingrained, even from these Negro scholars. Ooh, I can't stand them, man. Continue to teach that you originated here as slaves. You you came over here a bunch of slave ships with Kunta Kinte, and the white man gave you his names, and then we all come from Nigeria or West Africa. That is a lie. That is a big lie. That's a Herculaneum of a lie that these people have given you, man. Okay, I'm gonna show that brother. I can't show his whole body, man, because his penis is sticking out, man. All right. Now, what does it look like where you see brothers like you see brothers in the street today wearing a kufi, and then you have brothers with an earring, but you have a few wearing the big earrings. Generally, the ones who you see wear the big earrings, people usually associate them being, you know, the flamboyant type brothers. All right, but look at this, and look at the kufu on his head, man. And then when you look at the kufu, you see they had like a little eye symbol in between, man, like a third eye symbol, man. This stuff is so obvious, man. It's so obvious, man. They did not worship the sun. They honor the power of the sun and what the sun brings. The sun brings life. The sun impregnates the earth. So by impregnating the earth, trees grow. Leaves on trees grow. Grass turns green. You know, it helps with our natural earth life. It brings energy, and the sun brings energy, and it brought energy to the people. They weren't worshiping the sun, but they was honoring the sun's presence and the energy and the greatness in the sun brought to them on earth, coming from the solar the solar sky, coming from the sky, but it brought those rays and its powers from the energy from those rays to the earth. And they honored the sun. They did not worship the sun. That's the white folks talking about they sun worship. They did not worship the sun, but they honored the sun. They loved the sun. They loved the powerness and the greatness that the sun brought to them. All right. They did not worship. That's the white folks talk. All right. So I'm giving that information. I love you, brothers and sisters. All right. Peace. I'm rambling on to some degree, but I'm trying to give you this information, and I want you to take it and do your own research. All right. This is from Time Life books, Incas, Lords of Gold and Glory. Right. And this book wasn't gonna cost that much. It probably cost about like maybe like between $25 and $30 something. So, all right, brothers and sisters. Peace.